Hello lovely people and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about how to get the knife golden within Infinite Warfare. This is going to be episode 3 in my Black Sky series where I'm working towards unlocking the camo for myself. And as I do it with each weapon class, I'm going to be talking you through how I managed to get each weapon class gold myself, how I found it easiest to do that, and hopefully it could help you guys out. So the golden knife is definitely one of the more annoying things to get gold in any game. Especially one with advanced movement like Infinite Warfare, just because people aren't always on the ground. And in this game, like recent Call of Duties, the knife seems to miss quite a lot for some reason, which is a little bit annoying. Despite this, I do have some tips in order to get the knife golden relatively quickly. This knife has a video on its own, purely because it is a knife and it doesn't shoot bullets obviously. I know it's linked to the other secondary weapons for getting them diamond, but it's got a lot of different challenges and it made more sense to separate it out into one video. So let's get started. By far the easiest way to get the knife gold, and this is something that is not currently available at the time of making this video, but it may come back, and this is to play All or Nothing, which is a game mode that has come out on one weekend so far, at the point of making this video anyway. And this is one of those game modes that gets voted in by the community. It's a bit like Drop Zone and other game modes like that, Cranked. They're all around for a limited time every now and again. Now the reason All or Nothing is so easy to get the knife gold is, as you can see on your screen from the gameplay, everyone has a knife and a pistol. So everyone is running around trying to knife each other, and you don't have to sort of dodge people trying to pick you off at long distances. Also, because you have the knife as standard within the class, you don't need to be a certain level to unlock and equip it. It's always on there as a default. Just note, playing All or Nothing makes these challenges so much easier to do. The rest of the tips I'm going to give you don't really apply to All or Nothing because I'm going to try and explain it without using that game mode. But if it is around, all of these challenges are far easier. So if it does come up and you see it and you haven't got the knife gold yet, definitely go for it then. The best, and let's face it, the real way to play All or Nothing is to not use a gun at all and just knife for the whole game, try and win the game that way. I very rarely use my gun within these games. It's normally to kill someone who's trying to shoot back at me. I just think knifing everyone and throwing knifing them is a much better way to win than shooting your pistol. So if All or Nothing isn't around, here are some tips for getting it in normal game modes. So first off, class setup, I would definitely recommend using Ghost and Blind Eye within perk 1. You don't want to be seen on the UAV or by streaks when you're trying to run around getting close to people, so definitely equip those two. And then also use Scavenger and some sort of flashbang or blackout grenade or jammer grenade. It's far easier to knife someone when they can't see you. I have two specialist recommendations, and this is to use FTL's Phase Shift or Phantom's Active Camo. It's more likely that you're going to be able to use Phase Shift just because Active Camo unlocks so late. These are both good for sneaking up behind people and flanking, which reduce your risk of dying. Trying to stab people from the front can be a bit risky sometimes, so sneaking around behind them using these specialists just makes it so much easier for you. If you find this tactic especially useful, use the Overclock perk as well, just to earn them a little bit quicker. I didn't find that it was too much of an issue earning it in game modes like Team Deathmatch, where you earn it quite quickly, but in some of the longer game modes like Domination, you may want to run Overclock as well. So the first challenge that you're going to need to do is to get 100 kills with the knife. I wish I had some better tips on how to get these quickly, but you're just going to have to play with them. And it is definitely a good chance to learn how to play with the knife and what class setups work better for you. It's 100 kills before you can start doing any other challenges. So get used to the play style of running up on people, trying to get around the back of them, and just trying to get a lot of kills with the knife only. You can always run a primary weapon and just switch to it when you flank behind people, but the rest of the challenges are going to be so much easier if you just have a knife on a class. So try and get used to playing with just a knife and see how well you can do. Up next will be the 80 kills from behind, and for this you need to see the Backstabber medal appear at the top of your screen when you get a kill. Again, this just requires you to play the game. It's going to take you a little bit longer because not every kill you get will be backstabs. But if you use Phase Shift or Active Camo, as mentioned before, flank behind people, you will massively increase the frequency of these. or using the blackout grenades to get behind people. Just make sure that you're flanking to get behind them rather than running straight at them. After all, they are backstabber medals, so you need to be behind the enemy. If you see someone laying prone, make sure you're standing above them and behind them so you get that stab in the back. Just try and focus on getting round behind people and hitting their back right between the shoulder blades with your knife. Whilst you're doing these backstabber medals, every camo that you unlock for doing that challenge, you'll unlock a different challenge for a different camo. So the rest of the challenges are as followed. 25 kills from the front. Now this is easy enough, and you can even use reactive armour if you really want, but active camo also works and people don't see you coming 90% of the time. Again, like the backstabber medals, you need to focus on a particular part of the body to aim for. From the front, you need to be running directly at people. Again, if you flank behind people, you can always just run around to their front and stab them. They still won't see you come in as much, and they still have a chance of getting that front kill medal. There is no medal that will pop up on your screen. You just need to get 25 kills. You'll notice when the challenge is complete, and hopefully you'll get this just while playing. Keep going for the other medals and you'll get this easy enough. Next will be 50 kills with no primary weapon on a class. Worth noting at this point, this still does work in All or Nothing because you have 2 secondary weapons, not a primary. But in normal modes with a normal class setup, you will most likely not have a primary anyway. So this is pretty much just 50 kills. 25 kills while sliding is up next. Definitely use power slide on the FTL rig for this one. It will increase your slide distance by about a second, giving you more time to get that kill while sliding. Don't forget you can also slide into people from any side to get these. So doing multiple challenges, as soon as you unlock this, try and go for those sliding backstabber medals. Even sliding into their front, it's a lot easier when you drop down to hit someone in their front because they can't always aim at you. Basically, you need to get a low blow medal appearing in the top of your screen for this. Stack it up with other ones and you will get this in no time. Getting 2 rapid kills 10 times is pretty easy, but it's also entirely situational because you need enemies to be close enough to each other to get the double kills. Playing an objective game mode such as Domination or Hardpoint will group people together enough to make this slightly easier. If drop zones also around, definitely go for that. People like to congregate in the small area of the drop zone. Remember, a double kill has a little bit of a time gap in between it anyway. You have a couple of seconds between getting each kill. On the whole, this challenge will happen whilst you play. Again, you just need 2 enemies to be near to each other. Flanking behind people, catching 2 people camping on a head glitch is always an easy one. They don't know their friends died right next to them, so that's an easy double kill for you. Now, this is the hardest challenge out of all of them in my opinion, and this is to get a 3 kill streak with the knife 10 times. For a while this was bugged and you only needed a 2 kill streak, but at the time of making this video that may or may not be the case, so you have to find it out for yourself. This one is extremely easy within All or Nothing. So if you get all of the other challenges done and leave this one until that game mode comes back, then you're all set. But if you decide to try and do this within normal game modes, then take your time, use your wall runs, your phase shifts, your active camo really well, and just wait people out on predictable corners. Try and bait them to come towards you, pop out, maybe they'll come running at you. Don't camp because people will just come back and get you and you're not using a gun. So they'll stand at a bit of a distance and you'll have no chance of getting to them. But play smart, try and predict where enemies are coming from, and just wait for them. Use your teammates' UAVs, running around a corner if you spot someone, try and draw them into you rather than just keep running at them, because you're going to die that way. Just try and predict where the enemies are, but my biggest tip at the minute would definitely be wait until All or Nothing comes back, or play Drop Zone. Drop Zone is actually surprisingly good for this sort of thing. A lot of people together with the smoke and all the care packages coming down, it's easier to get 3 kills in a row than it is in some of the other game modes. In terms of other game modes for using the knife to get it gold, obviously, as I've just said, if All or Nothing comes back, then go for that. I managed to complete the rest of my challenges so quickly when I started playing All or Nothing. But on the whole, most game modes will be alright. If you play objective game modes, then flanking might be easier as people are focused on the objectives, but you always risk the spawns being behind you and the player skill being generally a little bit higher. But if you play team deathmatch, you might find people sitting in corners and lower levels, which can make it easier to knife people, but they're only focused on killing you, so they're not distracted by something else and you may get spotted more often. Whatever you choose to play, make sure to flank, use phase shift and active camo offensively to give the advantage, and don't waste it trying to avoid dying and getting out of a sticky situation. Use it to flank people and don't waste it if you're going to die anyway, because that's not going to help you out. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you have, feel free to drop a like below. Leave a comment on any other videos you want to see on my channel. I'm working on doing the LMGs next, so hopefully that will be the next one in this series that comes out. Subscribe for more content and I will see you guys later.